What if I told you that this concrete slab or this rock could create this? Yes, we're making our own Photoshop textures using our cameras and a little bit of Photoshop magic. Hi everybody, I'm Kersten Luts and you're watching Platypod TV, brought to you by Platypod, where innovation never sleeps. Oh, and just a quick reminder, I won't hassle you to hit that subscribe button just yet. But if you like what you see, I might give you a little nudge later on, okay? All right, let's go. Textures are a fantastic way to add some spice to your backgrounds, especially when you're shooting against plain paper backdrops. For this, I'm using the Platypod Extreme. It's stable, compact, and perfect for this kind of macro-style texture shooting. I've got the handle on here and a platter ball so I can fine-tune the angle. Look for stuff like concrete, old wood, rusty metal, bricks, or a kitchen tile like this one. Anything with detail and character. Shoot straight down, avoid shadows, and try to keep the lighting nice and even. Cloudy days are your best friend. On a recent trip to Arctic Norway, the natural light was so great, I even took some handheld shots of fantastic textures at the beach and of ancient rocks. It's the perfect playground for any photographer. Once you got your textures, bring them into Photoshop. First, do a quick cleanup, crop, boost contrast, maybe remove some dust or debris if you've been shooting outside. Here's a super easy way to apply these textures in Photoshop while staying flexible. Here's a shot I took of Dave Williams on location in the Lofoten Islands. The background is a pretty nondescript gray wall, and I love shooting this type of thing in front of a plain gray backdrop at home. For my 3 heads in a row photo series, I use a texture combo all the time, and I shoot these in front of a dark gray or black backdrop. For examples of what they look like, check them out on Instagram right here. Okay, let me show you how easy it is to apply these textures. First, select the lasso tool and click on Select Subject. Then hit Ctrl and click on your selection to bring up this pop-up menu. Now hit Layer via Copy. Photoshop has now created a separate layer of your subject cutout minus the background. The texture I'm going to use for this one is a rock I shot on a nearby coast. I thought it would be cool to tie all of these together. The Norwegian fisherman outfit, the Arctic rock, pure Lofoten style. Next, import your texture and place the texture layer in between the original and the cutout subject layers. The advantage of doing it like this is you can move your texture layer around, scale it, and do whatever you need to make it look great. Now comes the fun bit. Blending modes. My go-tos are Overlay, Soft Light, and Multiply. Overlay gives you punch, Soft Light is more subtle, and Multiply darkens things down nicely for a moodier looks. Try these blending modes and see which one gives you the best result for the texture you're working with, and you'll find that it very much depends on the type of backdrop you're shooting against. You can lower the opacity to taste or even stack multiple textures for extra drama. Get weird with it, that's the point. I got a texture library I've been building for years, and honestly, once you start shooting these, you'll see textures everywhere. Pavements, peeling paint, mossy stones, they all become creative tools. And the beauty of using your own textures is that they're unique. No one else is going to have your cracked paving slab. So there you go, capture textures with your camera, toss them into Photoshop, and let the blend mode wizardry begin. If you like this and want to see more creative ways to use Platypod gear, give it a like, hit subscribe, and drop a comment with your favorite weird texture find. I once shot a close-up of moldy bread. It was weird, but strangely beautiful. There you have it, folks. I hope this video gave you some ideas and inspired you to create some background textures at home. If you want to learn more about photography, check out my podcast, the Camera Shake Podcast, where I've talked to pros like Joel Grimes in detail about how they create their amazing images. And if you're not yet following the Camera Shake Podcast, then what are you doing? Check it out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever awesome podcasts live. You'll find all the links in the description below. As always, take a snapshot of your setup or share your final shots on Instagram. If you've been experimenting with Platypod gear or try out the setups we've discussed today, I want to see your creations. Make sure you tag Platypod on Instagram and use the hashtag #PostMyPlatypod. And if you like this video, we have a button specifically for you right here. Join the community over on Facebook to see what other Platypod users are up to, and ring the bell so you don't miss our regular videos. That, my friends, is all for today. Keep creating, and I'll see you next time.